Hello, it has been a while since I've vlogged, but August was, between being so hot and then raining, September is Classies month, so we are getting ready to go to a hunter jumper show first weekend in October. And Friday, which would have been the 29th, 30th of August, was the first time she's seen crossbills, and she did great. So we had another little ride on Monday, which wasn't as good. It was hot, I was tired. I came out and I hadn't really had breakfast, so a lot of it was on me. She was a saint. And I did videotape, but it was so bad I'm not sure that I'm gonna put it on here.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, I did not prepare myself properly, so it was like 32 degrees too, so it was not the best. So today is a lot cooler, and we're gonna do some pole work. I've got some trot poles set up, and I'm gonna set up a canter pole here, and then there are still some cross poles set up, so depending on how she goes, we might do one or two, but we will just see how today goes. Good girl. Alrighty, well, I was very out of breath in that last clip. It is now the next day. But yeah, just figured I'd talk through a little bit of what I was doing. Just getting her to walk, which actually that mounting block experience was really good. A big thing for her is she likes to walk off before I'm fully situated, and that time was really amazing. So here we've done a little bit of walking, I believe. I just didn't record that. Getting her to move off each leg there. So off my right leg kind of into the middle of the arena, and then off my left leg back to the fence. She knows how to move off my leg. She understands. She's just very sticky with it. So that's something we are going to be working on consistently over the next few weeks. She has got such a beautiful big walk step, which I love about her. And that translates honestly into all of her gaits. Walk, trot, canter. She's got a beautiful big step. Which, as a very tall rider, I'm actually 6'3", so as a taller rider, that is really nice. My paint, who you guys might have seen on here before, is just shy of 15 hands, so I am a little bit big on him, so I don't do a crazy amount with him, but his stride versus hers is very different, so there's a few points here where I'm a little bit unbalanced. Just I've ridden her quite a bit at home, just around the yard, walk trot, but in a more Western style saddle, so getting used to this saddle. This is also a brand new saddle to me, so getting used to this and her big stride, it's taking me a hot minute to find that balance. She is an off-the-track thoroughbred, and she did race for, I believe, 3 or 4 years. She's a 2016, and she raced until 2021, and she came off the track with a ligament injury, and then was rehabbed, and then somebody used her just as a trail horse for a little while, but she was not friends with her geldings, so she wanted her to go to somebody who was gonna use her a bit more and not just have her sit in a pasture somewhere. So that's when I got her last year as a birthday present to myself. And then yeah, she's been pretty great. I just started riding her this summer, and she's pretty cool. So just went over those canter poles at a trot there. and she's doing wonderful. Like I said in my first clip, Friday was the first time she has seen poles. I've actually talked to her two previous owners from off the track, so unless she saw some jumps in her track training, which, I mean, it's possible, but probably not. The trot poles she was very confused about. They are also skinny and very light colored. They're very similar to the sand. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot from her. I did walk her over them in hand before getting on, so she does know they're there. But she kept wanting to dive out, so that time she had dove out to the left, so I was just trying to keep that leg on. And like I said before, she understands the leg aids, but she's pretty dull to them, so that's something we will work on. Otherwise she's pretty straight. On Friday when we went over the jumps for the first time, once she understood that's what we were doing, she locked right on. She's a very, very smart girl. And see here, yeah, I approached them in a trot and walked over them perfectly fine, perfectly straight. So she knows they're there. She's just having a hard time figuring out where her feet are going to be. And there's only, I think, 4 poles there. So in the next few days, I might try to do some more with just 3, just to kind of get a few less steps, see if that's better for her brain. And we'll use some bigger poles and brightly colored poles and see if that helps her. This time was a lot better, and so I think I left it at that. I'm not sure. No, we do come one more time. A big thing I'm thinking about is just looking. That time was a lot better. It's hard to tell on video, but that was a lot nicer. One thing I'm focusing on is picking a spot on the opposite end fence and just staring nice and straight, looking nice and straight. Oh, and then here we have a canter. She is on the wrong lead. We're still figuring out each other how to pick up correct leads. She tends to go into a very big trot before she picks up a canter, and that is honestly almost impossible to sit for me. So we're figuring that out. So yeah, she goes into that big trot before picking up her canter, and it does get quite bumpy. But here you can see we did get the correct lead this time. She really wants to slow down going around by the gate and the mounting block, so that's something she didn't really do that before this ride, so it's just something we'll work through. With horses, there's, one ride something will happen and the next it'll be perfectly fine, but something else will pop up. So just working through all the different things with her. So I'm really making sure to push through those corners now that she's realized there's been a couple times we've done a transition there. I honestly think it's just she's anticipating what I'm asking. She's a very smart horse. That's one thing I really, really love about her. She's super cuddly, super smart mare. Would try her heart out for me, which I absolutely love. A good gelding is worth its weight in gold, but a mare. As you can see there, I was a little bit off balance in that corner, just up into my half seat, and then I got my seat back, and we had a very lovely cruise around the arena. And I believe this time I came up those canter poles. She thought about diving out, but once I corrected her, she stayed on course. Yeah, once she builds some nice top line, I have a feeling she's gonna be a boss in the dressage and hunter, even jumper ring. We'll see. I don't want to do anything too high with her, just with her previous injuries, so that time at a walk beautifully straight through those trot poles. And then you can see I'm kind of leg yielding her to the fence. Like I said, just working on those over movements that she finds a little bit harder. So a big thing I'm working on with her too is... Sorry, the baby wanted to watch too. A big thing I'm working on with her in the canter is, instead of just her, you know, trying to gallop away, that she has a nicer rhythm and kind of uses her body more. Oh, first little pop over the cross poles, yes. And then just really making sure she stayed nice and straight after that, because with my other horse, that's something that I was super guilty of. I was young when I first started him over jumps and wasn't super experienced with them, so I never fully committed and followed through with the straightness after the jump, and now he's got a bad habit of just kind of falling apart. So that's something with her I really want to focus on, is, you know, nice straightness after the jump, following through, and fully committing, full send. And I love that she doesn't need a strong bit. She's just in a 2-piece D-ring with copper rollers so that it gives her something to play with. And she's so soft. I can have a contact and she'll keep going, but as soon as I kind of bring her back. So yeah, here you can see just moving her off my leg, off the left leg, she's wonderful. And then the right leg, she can get a little bit sticky. Here it's a really good. She really exaggerates that over. So like I said, she understands, she knows. At a walk, she's a lot better, but then just having a disagreement about grabbing the cat's ears. So yeah, at a walk, she moves over great. And then at a trot, it's just that much more exaggerated and she takes a little bit longer. So we'll be working on that over the next little while. And then over this cross pull on the angle, I think I was keeping her a little bit too quiet coming in. We didn't have quite enough power, so I think she did just knock that one with her back foot. She didn't knock it down, but she did. There was an audible knock. And she did not like that. So we just took a minute and reset, and then I think we approached that again, and I let her have a little bit more energy. One thing I don't want to do with her is get her too wound up before jumps, just because I want her to be nice and quiet and safe and understand that, yes, you know, it's very exciting, but we don't have to be crazy about it. She'll never do anything super crazy high, just with her history and her body conformation from being on the track. She probably won't do anything more than 2 foot, but we can do little cross rails and stuff. And then my plan is to breed her next year to a very lovely quarter horse stud, so very excited for that. Okay, so out of breath, but she did really good. Without looking and, you know, watching anything back. I think our biggest thing to work on together as a partnership is balance between each other. She has this massive, beautiful, lofty trot that I have a very hard time posting. And the sitting trot we got today is the best sitting trot I've felt we've had. So that was good. Went through those canter poles once at a canter, another time at a trot. The skinny trot poles were not really a success. She knocked him pretty much every time going through or avoided them, but I think we got one good pass at the end there. She does move off the left leg better than right, which the right side is also my weak side, so something to work on together. Something I need to work on is my core strength and even just my leg strength, because I should be able to balance myself in that trot of hers, but we'll work on that. And then for her, it'll just be gaining strength. She needs to gain a bit of weight, but she's not super underweight. She's just very under-muscled, so we're just, slowly getting her top line built up. Can't wait to see what her neck looks like once we get that built up a bit more. But yeah, popped over each cross pole once on that one and twice on the angle one. So yeah, I definitely think that was a more successful ride than our ride on Monday. Maybe I'll add in a little fail clip here at the end of our ride on Monday, because yeah, it was just, we were both just having an off day. So yeah, very excited to see our progress over a month. So it'll be neat because the show is first weekend in October, and we started our jumping and arena work beginning of September. So yeah, that'll be super cool. Look at me, out of breath, full sweat, not a single sweaty spot. I mean, she's warmer than she would be if she didn't exercise, but not a single drop of sweat. Hey, is that fun? You sleepy now? This is the most cuddly mare I've ever met. See, look at how red my face is. Oh. And not a drop of sweat from her.